Good evening. Tonight, a child is recovering after he was hit by a car on the south side of Indy. And he's not the only young person recovering this month from those kinds of incidents. Now there's a local group that's called Safe Streets Indy that's sounding the alarm. The founder says in the past 30 days, 10 local kids have been hit by vehicles. Logan Gay joins us now. And Logan, you spoke to people about these numbers. What have they been saying?
Well, and they tell me that they're alarming and they worry if drivers don't start paying attention and slowing down. These situations are only going to get worse.
This is a citywide problem, and it does happen everywhere.
Eric Holt with Safe Streets Indy says the 10 kids struck by vehicles in the past 30 days lived in areas across Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is very clearly in a street safety crisis, and that affects everyone, people walking, biking, people on motorcycles, in cars.
He says with summer on the way, everyone needs to be paying closer attention.
As the temperatures warm up, more people are getting outside. And I think, what tends to happen is that drivers kind of get a little complacent, especially over the winter. They're not used to and expecting to see, as many people out walking and biking.
The latest incident happening at the Southside apartment complex. It's located right across the street from a playground. Neighbors tell me the complex has had a speeding problem for years. Holt says he hates hearing stories like this, especially when they involve children.
Kids just want to be kids. They just want to be outside, play with their friends, ride their bikes. And it's becoming harder and harder for them to do that safely on our streets. And I think that's just a real tragedy that kids can't just be kids. These days.
According to Safe Streets Indy data, 8 of the 10 victims were taken to local hospitals. At least 3 of these incidents involved a hit-and-run driver. 4 victims were riding bikes when they were struck, and 4 of the incidents were classified as involving serious bodily injury. And just on Monday, police arrested a woman on the west side for allegedly driving drunk and hitting a 14-year-old and driving away. The teen is now recovering at home with a broken leg. Incidents like this is why Holt is urging the city to take more action. Because if not, he worries what may happen next.
I hate it, but I think it's very highly likely that we will see, more kids seriously injured and killed if we don't start really tackling this in a concrete and actionable way.
Yeah, well, just last month, Indy's Vision Zero Task Force met for the first time since October. The group is tasked with making it safer for pedestrians and bike riders in the Circle City, with the goal of eliminating traffic deaths and severe injuries in Marion County by 2035.
Logan, thank you. Right now, police are investigating a deadly crash on the near southeast side of Indianapolis. It all unfolded just before 7 o'clock tonight near Raymond Street and Sherman Drive. The wreck involves a motorcycle and another vehicle. At this hour, we're working to learn what may have led up to that collision. And new video tonight. This is from the search for the person who drove off in a stolen ambulance.
So east on Windsor, somewhere in that area, I guess.
So he's wearing like a white tracksuit, has red splotches all over.
You said a white tracksuit?
Yeah, red splotches all over it.
This video from IMPD shows the moments after officers say that suspect ditched the ambulance and then ran off. Investigators say the person took it yesterday while the EMS crew was eating lunch near 21st and Shaneland. Police were able to find the ambulance and the suspect not too far away from there. The good news, there were no patients on board at the time and nobody was hurt. Plans are now in place to file a lawsuit against the Martinsville School District after police say a former teacher had group sex with her students. We today just got the legal documents. In them, it's alleged the Metropolitan School District of Martinsville ignored red flags and allowed the teacher, Brittany Fortenberry, to remain employed despite inappropriate behavior. Now Fortenberry is facing dozens of criminal charges. Investigators accuse her of drugging boys, forcing them to have sex, and paying hundreds of dollars for explicit photos. We talked to the attorney who's representing one of the alleged victims.
When there's smoke, there's fire. And these cases, unfortunately, is all about grooming the kids. And that's what she did, using her job, displaying this for others to see, including other school officials, the principal, and then, of course, her job history.
According to the law firm, 10 boys between the ages of 13 and 16 years old were abused by Fortenberry while she worked as a substitute teacher for Martinsville schools. We did get a statement from the district saying that they conducted a full background check and they say it showed no criminal activity. Now, she also worked for Eminence Community Schools, and a spokesperson there says that Fortenberry was suspended following these misconduct allegations. Also in Martinsville tonight, the Hoosier Environmental Council just filed a lawsuit over concerns about contaminated water. This lawsuit names the Indiana Department of Environmental Management and an AES-owned power plant. It claims the plant releases untreated wastewater into a stretch of the White River. Attorneys for the group say that section is upstream of Martinsville's municipal wells that provide the city's drinking water. We did reach out to IDEM about the lawsuit, and a spokesperson told 13 News they do not comment on pending litigation. A man shot by Carmel police just took a plea deal in his case, and as part of the agreement, Daniel Castillo admitted to attempted battery, resisting law enforcement, drunk driving, and harassment. Officers responded to a complaint at an apartment building last August. The complaint was that Castillo was harassing his ex-girlfriend. Police say they found him sitting in a car in the parking garage, and they say Castillo rammed the police cruiser. An officer then fired 3 shots, hitting Castillo in the shoulder. This plea deal sentences Castillo to 1.5 years in prison, plus 2 years community corrections and 1.5 years of probation.
50s and another rain chance tomorrow, but much like the last several days, it's not going to rain all day tomorrow. So if you do need some dry time, just check radar before those outdoor plans. You'll need a jacket and throw in the umbrella just in case. Our next area of rain already developing up to the north and west. It will start to slide our way over the next few hours, but as I mentioned, not a washout. Morning commute, mainly dry, and then we'll start to see those showers redevelop with some of the heavier rain falling late Thursday night into early Friday. We'll talk about the warm up in the full forecast.
All right, Angela, we'll check back. Fresh takes and age-old problems. That really is the goal, the stated goal of a group here in Indianapolis that really wants to rethink the interstates and neighborhoods in Indianapolis. Tonight, this group with community members, and they want to get their input on the future of the southeast side of Indy. The focus is that Virginia Avenue area. That's near the south split of I-65 and I-70. Right now, this Rethink Coalition is conducting a Reconnecting Communities planning study. People got the chance to share their visions and talk things out.
It's incredibly important because I know if this were I don't live in this neighborhood, but if this were my neighborhood and this might happen in my neighborhood, I'd want to have a say in it.
Right now, this study is funded by a federal grant from the Department of Transportation. Now, if you're interested, but you couldn't make it to the workshop tonight, don't worry, you can always share your thoughts on the Rethink Coalition's website. And work on the Henry Street Bridge is now moving into a new phase. Indy DPW's archaeology consultant has notified the state that work on the east bank of the White River is now finished. That means construction can begin soon. The work site is also the former home of the Green Lawn Cemetery, the city's first public cemetery. Crews have been working carefully to process the remains there. The archaeology team will continue the evacuation process, moving east toward Kentucky Avenue.